This is another illustration for my current Lord of the Rings set. I'm following the alphabet, and I'm currently at the letter E. For this letter, I decided to paint Eowyn, the Shieldmaiden from Rohan. This is the part where she disguises herself as a soldier and goes to fight in the war. She's the one that ends up defeating the Witch King of Angmar. I just love saying Witch King of Angmar. It's such a cool title. A witch and a king. Or maybe he's the king of witches, I'm not sure. I've read the books, but I can't remember if they even explain it. When drawing Eowyn, I tried a dynamic pose. I wanted her like in the middle of battle, with her hair flowing in the air. I'm also playing with the vignette look for this one. Just in case anyone is wondering what that thing in my hand is, I injured my finger in a situation unrelated to art. I had to wear this thing on my hand, but sometimes it was annoying to paint with. But luckily I could remove it since it wasn't a broken bone. It was to hold the finger in place just so it would heal faster. For this painting I went with a brown toned paper. Since the Knights of Rohan are mostly green and earth toned, I thought the brown paper would be a nice look with those colors. I did this painting with Tempera. Sadly, she doesn't look much like the woman in the movies. I think I should have tried a bit harder to make her look more like her. I'm not trying to make realistic paintings. My artwork, I find, is very stylized, and I want it to be stylized. But I would like it if you could see the stylized image and it would still make you see the person I'm portraying, if that makes sense. Another thing, I am back to editing with DaVinci Resolve. My laptop is still gone, but thankfully they gave me a provisory one while I wait for mine to return from the factory. Which is great news, because I can play The Sims 4 now. I need to rebuild my poor family again. But I'll do a different family this time. That's the only good thing about my laptop dying. It gives me an opportunity to create a brand new Sims family. I mean, I could have done that anyways without the laptop dying, but I'm trying to look at the silver lining here. Any silver lining is appreciated. Like always, I started this painting with glazes. So I add the colors softly first and then build up the darks. I do this mostly because when I put the color on the palette, I don't normally use it all in one sitting. So with time, the color dries. But since it's tempera, they can be brought to life with water. This way I still use the colors that are left on the palette. I am using the tempera from the brand Sennelier. They are a bit on the expensive side, so I want to make sure I don't waste it. And they are great, because they cover really well. It sounds like such a basic thing to say, a paint that actually paints and covers the surface. But there's a lot of cheap paints out there that really don't cover the paper. Even if you add a lot, it stays in like a glazing kind of look. It can be very frustrating. I've been doing some gouache sketches lately with cheap gouache, and it's so annoying how they don't cover the surface properly. Especially because when you buy them, you're like, oh, it's such a good price, I'm saving money. But then when you use them, you're like, alright, this is why they were so affordable. I'll show them on a future video. There's some sketches I'm doing for one of my sketchbooks. Since I'm going for a vignette look for this painting, I've left some of the background paper on the highlights, or where the highlights should be, like in her helmet or parts of the hair. I also only use this one camera angle. No top view for this one. With my hand hurt like this, I don't want to show that on camera. The only reason I even mention it is because you can see it in some shots, even in this angle. Sorry. Here we have the finished look. I am happy with the way this one turned out, even if it's not perfect. Like, she doesn't look like the actress. I still like this illustration. And I added the text on with digital media. Here is a close-up. Sometimes I find it hard to see with the reflection, so I'm holding it diagonally like this. You can see her face better like this.